There was once a king who possessed everything the world calls success. His palace was built of white marble. His robes were spun from the finest gold, and his power was absolute. He could buy anything his eyes desired. Yet, inside this golden cage, his soul was starving. Every night, he lay awake on his velvet bed, haunted by a single, terrifying question: why do I own the entire world, yet feel as though I have absolutely nothing? One morning, the king stood upon his high balcony, gazing down at the bustling city. The sun was fierce, and the streets were choked with dust. Suddenly, a sound drifted, a sound the king had not heard in years. It was laughter. Pure, bubbling laughter. He looked down and saw a beggar sitting in the dirt, wearing nothing but a tattered coat. Yet, the man was singing to the sky, his face glowing with a peace the king had never tasted. The king gripped the marble railing. How could a man with nothing have everything? What secret did this beggar know that the king did not? That night, the king tossed and turned. The echo of that laughter haunted him. Unable to bear it, he threw a dark cloak over his royal robes and slipped out of the palace. He found the beggar sitting by a small fire, eating a dry crust of bread, yet still smiling at the stars. The king stood over him, his voice trembling. "Speak, old man," he demanded. "How can you be happy? I possess the wealth of nations, yet I am miserable. You sleep in the dirt, yet you sing like a bird. Where is your secret treasure? You must be hiding gold or magic beneath these rags." The beggar looked up, his eyes bright. "I have no gold, stranger," he said softly. "But you're right. I do have a secret." The beggar held up a small, battered wooden begging bowl. "My secret is simple," he whispered. "If you can fill this bowl with your gold, I will tell you everything." The king burst out laughing. "A few coins. Is that all?" He snapped his fingers, and his hidden guards rushed forward, carrying heavy sacks of gold. The king grabbed a handful of coins and tossed them arrogantly into the bowl. Clink. The sound was sharp, but the bowl remained empty. The coins had vanished the moment they touched the bottom. Confused, the king poured in a whole sack, then another, then a chest of rubies. Toi soro. The bowl swallowed everything, remaining as empty and hungry as before. Panic seized the king. He ordered wagons of treasure to be poured into the small wooden bowl. Diamonds, pearls, gold bars all vanished instantly. The bowl was a bottomless pit. Finally, the king fell to his knees in the dust, defeated. "What sorcery is this?" he cried, his voice breaking. "Is this a demon's curse?" The beggar smiled gently. "No, your majesty, this is no magic. This bowl is made from the skull of human desire. It is just like the mind of man. No matter how much you pour into it, it always remains empty, craving just one more thing." The king was struck silent. He stared at the humble bowl and finally saw his own life reflected within it. He realized he had been feeding a hunger that could never be satisfied. He stopped the guards. He didn't need more gold. He needed less want. Walking away, he left the treasure in the dust, finally carrying a heart full of peace. True richness is not about how much you have, but how little you need. What bowl are you trying to fill? Tell us in the comments. If this story brought you peace, please subscribe to our channel for more daily wisdom.